Hi everyone, welcome to Late Night with Nike Oshinowo. It is so good to finally be here. So, why am I doing a show? Besides the fact that I'm a complete narcissist, as you can see from all the pictures of myself. I figured I'd do my own show since, no one else has put me on television. But seriously, no. What we're trying to do is have frank discussions about Nigeria, about who we are as a people, about where we want to be, about where we would like to go to take our country to. We want to get to the nitty-gritty of our guests, what makes them tick. Yeah, you can see the champagne's working, huh? You stop that. No, but seriously, we plan to have a good show. With frank discussions come a good time as well. So what do we have on the show? Besides me, I'm hoping that you'll get to know me better. I know a lot of you have preconceived notions about who I am and what I'm about. I swear you are going to be surprised. One thing, though, I'd like to share with you is how hard it is to actually put this together, this show together. Because I had no idea. I mean, do you guys know what it takes to look like this? It takes a little village, as they say. So you have me. You have the viewers. We have the viewers, you out there. I'm hoping to be able to give you food for thought, really. And I'm hoping you'll be able to, to join in the discussion on Twitter, on et cetera, switch on to social media. We have the set. Let me take you on a small journey of our set. So I don't know why I'm starting with the bar. I don't know what that says about me. So the champagne is courtesy of my fab bar. We have my very own gorgeous barman, Stephen. Cheers. I'm the only one allowed to drink, by the way. We have the studio audience. I have to tell you, for today, it's a totally fake audience. They are all crew right now. They've been taken over by crew. I have my very own fab DJ, Spinall!
I got you.
You got me.
Yes.
But seriously, how did you choose to be a DJ?
I mean, passion for music led to it. I know I can sing. I mean, so I just think that I can do so much. I can be creative with music. I can make people happy, So.
Why did they call you the Cap?
The cap basically is, when I was young, my dad used to wear these caps a lot.
Really?
Whenever I was going to parties.
Because that one is what, Kente?
Yeah, this is Kente. I got this from Ghana.
Really?
So he
that
always,
is so cool.
He always wears the cap. And
really?
I'm like, why? And he said, I'm going out. I'm going to have a good time.
Talking about family.
Yeah.
So what does your mom, forget the rest of your family.
I know, right?
What does your mom?
I know, right?
What does your mom have to say about the fact that her son is a DJ? Because you studied what? Engineering?
Yeah, I studied engineering.
Can you imagine? So she's like, what? All my money, all that expensive education, and you're a DJ?
I know, right?
Yeah.
She was like, oh, sure. Are you okay? It took both of them actually a while to get convinced that this is what I actually love to do.
But seriously though,
yeah.
I know you love doing this. I know you guys make a heck of a lot of money doing this. So every show, I'm thinking every episode, you bring me a present. You have the cap, I want something else.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Good.
I got you.
I live abroad, and I've always looked for an easy and convenient way to carry out banking transactions in Nigeria without any hassle. But now, I can.
With my first diaspora account,
I could monitor cash flow into my account via online banking, save in order to invest in businesses, pay my staff salaries, and even pay money directly into my loved one's account. Like I live in Nigeria, I can explore so many other financial advisory services easily and still use my Naira MasterCard anywhere in the world. Join me. Make the switch to seamless and convenient banking solutions today, wherever you are outside Nigeria. Choose First Diaspora from First Bank.
Every day starts with a vision. And as the saying goes, if you believe you can fly, you will. Flying demands the best of safety procedures, and that is why we are abreast of global standards delivered by top technicians using some of the most advanced technologies. At Arik Air, we don't just believe in flying, we are passionate about the flying experience. Arik Air, Africa's fastest growing airline.
Hey, what's going on?
So you haven't heard? Etisalat is giving amazing data value and smartphones at the lowest prices. With up to 1.5 gigabytes free data sign-up bonus and 100% bonus on all data purchases from 200 MB and above for 12 months. Can I show you some phones?
Get the latest devices at amazing prices at any Etisalat Experience Center or authorized dealers and choose from the blazing fast data and amazing tariffs, all on your smartphone network of choice.
Etisalat, now you're talking.
You know, I'm sorry, during the break, our director actually said to Cheta, look up, look smiley, look happy. But Cheta never looks happy. He never looks happy. What are you drinking? Champagne?
Anything alcoholic.
Stephen. Okay, I like that. Anything alcoholic. Can we have a glass of champagne for Cheta? Who are you? You know what? We get these emails from you.
Yeah.
Who are you? What are you about?
I'm just me, someone who talks. Okay, I'm an engineer by training, but somewhere along the line, I decided to venture into journalism. And especially with, I have a keen interest in history and current affairs, things that are happening. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. So, writing, analyzing, I got this gig on Smooth FM, where I go every morning to basically talk and tell people what's happening.
But it seems that all you talk about is politics.
No, I talk about sports. I talk about economics.
Even that is political. I mean, so basically, all you talk about is politics. Politics, the sports, the politics of everything. What is it about you guys that study engineering that drives you into doing something else? You know, DJ Spinall, I've studied engineering, he's a DJ. You studied engineering, you're a journalist.
What flavor of engineering did you study?
Electrical electronics.
Oh, crap.
Well,
I studied electrical electronics.
I think there's something, I mean, you lecturers out there, I don't know what it is that you're doing to them.
Well, me, it was Laplace transfer.
Totally over my head. Totally over my head. So what motivates you to be so politically driven, as it were?
Well, the truth is this. You can't I want this country to be better.
We do.
Yeah,
We do.
I have a child now, and I want him to grow up in a far better environment than what I see now. I have a head for numbers, and a lot of figures cross my desk every day. And the figures I see are not encouraging. Now, if people are not aware of what's happening, then nothing is going to change. What encouraged me to move into journalism was the BBP incident in the UK. I used to live in the UK. I studied there, and I worked there for a while. Now, there was this baby whose mom killed him.
Oh, good God. For
a very long time, that was what the media kept driving.
So what you're saying is that you are actually, you're more into current affairs than politics. It's actually whatever is happening. Whatever is happening, whatever is of the moment.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So you lived in England, you're back here in Nigeria. It just seems to us that everything you talk about is political because really it's such a political terrain. Is that what it is?
It's a very political terrain. The lines here are more blurred than in most other places. It's easy because of the amount of money involved in politics here. A lot of people want to go into politics whether they say it or not. And at the end of the day, one thing that a lot of Nigerians need to realize is this. You can be an economic guru, you can be the best educationist. One knothead in the political terrain can destroy everything with one bad policy.
True.
So we actually need to keep...
But isn't it like that everywhere?
Yes, it is.
I mean, because you lived in England.
Yes.
And then you moved back from England.
Yes.
Isn't it more so in the Western world?
It's more so in the Western world in many ways. At the same time, because they've have better institutions which have been built
because
over years.
Well, I'm so glad you said that. They were built over years. My goodness, it's going to rain. You brought the rain. You brought the rain with you.
Maybe I'm doing magic.
You said you have a baby. How old's your baby?
He's going to be 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it is so cool to meet people who have younger children than I have. As in, I keep thinking my babies are babies. They have younger ones.
No, those are babies.
And these are real babies. Yeah. Okay.
He's
so the difference. So Cheta pre-baby and Cheta post-baby. What's the difference? Do you find that you're a lot more responsible?
Yes.
Do you find that you're a lot more...
for example, since he came, I've not driven beyond 120 kilometers per hour.
I love that. I love that. Yeah? Okay.
There's that thinking, and then there are certain risks I would have taken before.
I'm afraid to ask, how did you drive before?
You don't want to know.
I don't think we want to know.
Yeah,
I don't think we want to know.
Let's put it like this. I love sports cars.
You do?
Yes.
Right. So, yeah. Listen. I listen to you on the radio, okay, on my way to work. On my way to... No, actually, it's not on my way to work. I think it's usually on my way to Pilates in the morning. It's about 8 a.m.
7:30 to 8.
There. It's around that time that I listen to you on the radio. And I find... Is it me, or do you not leave room for opposing views? I mean, what do you think you are, God?
Well, something close. I'm not going to challenge him.
And I thought I was narcissistic. You know, perfect combination, huh? You know. So you do not leave room for opposing views. You have Cheta's view, and that's
Cheta's view, and basically any view that is well thought through, I'll accept. But the thing is, in this environment, it's a sad fact. Most views are not well thought through. They're very sentimental. They are based on all sorts of gibberish.
So what about the situation, that incident with baby P in England?
Basically, at the time, the child child services abandoned their jobs.
I like that.
Yeah.
All these Cheta words, abandoned their jobs. Okay.
Yeah. You had this baby. The parents were not married. And shortly after he was born, the father left, and the mom took up with someone else, and they abused the boy until he died. His short life of just over a year was really torment-filled. They killed him gradually, and child support services noticed this.
Because they would visit.
They would visit.
And they were aware that the child was being abused.
Now, the mom and her boyfriend had the habit of using things like chocolate to cover up his marks. So the child support service would come in, they would notice that this baby is covered in chocolate. Yeah. And instead of them to check properly for signs of wounds and all of that, they would just say, oh, he's being well taken care of.
He's smeared in chocolate.
He's smeared in chocolate. And it continues for a long time. Eventually...
But how did that... Sorry, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but
no problems.
How did that... I mean, hideous thing, because I remember that whole baby P incident.
Yeah.
How did that shape your thinking?
It was the role of the media. For a long time, the media kept it on the front page. It was always either a lead story or second lead or third lead, but it was in the front page of every paper. I used to stay in Hendon, and whenever I got to Hendon Central Station, picking up the papers, it was there. I got home at night, put on the TV, BBP was there.
What you're saying is that really the role of the media.
Yes, the role of the media.
Because otherwise, it literally would have been.
It would have just died away.
Okay, and so even with the influence of the media keeping it on top shelf, as it were.
Yes.
But Baby P died.
Yes, Baby P died. But number one, Catherine Shoesmith, the lady in charge of child services, lost her job. She was forced to resign. And the laws guiding child support services at the time, Theresa May was the Home Secretary. Those things were changed. They were, it's forced Parliament to act.
So what you're saying that the media was a tool,
was a catalyst for change, yes. Okay. And it was because of the awareness that they created. If the awareness hadn't been there, it would have been a very different story.
That's why you went into journalism.
Yes. Yes.
That's why you left engineering for journalism.
Basically, yes.
That's actually phenomenal. I wish he had such a good story. You know, Spinall, why did you leave engineering for?
I mean, music make people happy.
Well, you can't override that.
Okay, so catalyst for change, media. The media as a catalyst for change. Do you find that obtains here as well in Nigeria?
The answer to that is no. Our media are quite influential. Let's not get that wrong. However, our media suffers from a lot of the problems that the Nigerian society suffers from. Short-termism. A lot of Nigerians are short-distance runners. We can't do marathons. Now, a lot of change requires people who can envision the future and have the stamina to keep plugging at it.
So why are you saying we have people in journalism, in the media that have been there in the long term? I mean, I couldn't reel off names.
Yes, but then how many stories can you count have been? Take for example, in recent times we've had the synagogue tragedy, and everybody would have moved on from that.
We have moved on, haven't we?
A few people are still trying to keep it. Now, I believe that it would have all moved on from that by now if it wasn't for the fact that 80-something plus South Africans died. So it was pressure coming from outside Nigeria. Another example, bring back our girls. Were it not for people like Ms. Obi Ezekwesili and Hadiza Bala Usman, we would have all moved on, because even the media are not giving as much coverage as it ought to have.
They constantly need new news, new things to keep us interested, new things to keep us,
glued to
our TV.
Not necessarily.
But, I think also, which is why I accuse you of not giving the rest of us a chance to have our own opinion. I don't think you can credit just two individuals with this Bring Back Our Girls campaign. The fact that those two particular individuals went out marching, etc., etc. I have my own views. I'm mortified by by what happened as much as the next person. But the fact that I'm not carrying a placard and demonstrating in the streets doesn't mean I'm not absolutely appalled by what is going on. But that really is still. So you're saying, without the media, that would not still be on the burner?
Without a strong media presence, you will find that the issue would, a few people will be appalled, but they will be appalled, quote and unquote, in the comfort of their homes.
Cheta, isn't it social media?
Let me ask you a question. How many Twitter followers, for example, make a valid vote?
I don't know. Why are you asking me? Are you trying to put me on the spot?
Yes, I am.
I don't know. You tell me.
None. You may have 1 million followers on Twitter. It doesn't translate to votes. And this is something that is that's a problem in our middle class generally. We make a lot of noise on social media. We shout about issues, but the things that would actually move people to translate all of this hot air, for want of a better word, into actual action is what is missing. And that connect can be bridged by the media.
How? The media is not government. So if you say, the media as a catalyst, so the media as a catalyst, number one, and then we'll file that to one side. And then you have, so the fact that social media, because I remember, I still remember that picture. Do you still have that picture in your mind of Michelle Obama with the Our Girl sign?
Yes.
And all these people all around the world. So how does that literally bring back the girls?
It doesn't, but now, if it's sustained, it can actually put pressure on the people who matter. Again.
Pressure?
Yeah.
Or irritate them? Doesn't it just...
It can shame them into action.
Shame them into action, or...
Okay, well,
now irritate them.
Now we're getting to it.
Get away from us already.
Yeah, we're getting to a terrain where here a lot of people don't feel that kind of shame. Instead, they feel irritated and they don't do anything. But in a normal environment, they will be shamed into doing something.
Like the baby P situation.
Exactly.
The government was shamed into sacking Theresa May and
into sacking Catherine Shoemaker,
and then reconfiguring the social services.
Yes.
Interesting. So why hasn't that happened here? Are we too backward?
Yes.
Why haven't heads rolled?
It brings us to the second part of why our democracy is dysfunctional. We don't have a media that does its job properly, and then we don't have a legal system that is properly independent.
That's an arm that is supposed to act totally independent of government. But I don't see how that affects the situation that we have with with these girls that are still out there. And really, now they're not only out there, they've been married off to these and really, sorry, I keep having people talking intimate. Oh my goodness, really? Cheta, so sorry. The guest that we have is stuck in traffic. Oh no, he made it finally. Did we just have a bloody power cut? Did the power just? Oh my goodness, they just spin all enough already with it.
The story of our lives.
Are you kidding me?
Up NEPA.
Mr. Cheta, enough. Well, guys, I'm afraid we're going to have to leave. That's it for now. That's all we can bring you with the situation, the power situation. I promise you, next week we'll have our guests here. There won't be darkness. We'll have sorted out our generator. We'll buy a backup generator. A generator that's a backup to the generator we have.
And an inverter.
And an inverter. Thank you. Oh my goodness. And DJ Spinall will be here with a torchlight on standby again. Thank you very, very much. See you next week. Bye-bye.